People are talking about groceries, they're talking about gas. Well, guess what? 9 months later, people are still talking about groceries, they're still talking about gas.
They're not talking about gas. Gas is at a 4-year low.
It depends on what part of the country you're in. But they're talking
California,
about
it's really high, but everywhere else.
But they are also talking about eggs. They are talking about the cost. Eggs are not low.
Eggs are low.
Have you been to a grocery store around here?
His Rolex probably.
I mean, eggs are not low.
I'm going to fact check after the show, and you're going to be surprised.
$8.99 for eggs is not low.
You've probably seen human booger Scott Jennings on CNN claiming that prices aren't up and that the economy is doing fine under Trump. Well, just kidding. Prices are up, jobs are down, and the economy is hurting because of Trump's tariffs. I'm Adam Carr. Welcome back to Debate Mania.
New this morning, we are getting a new look at prices at the grocery store. July Consumer Price Index shows inflation for food prices over the past month. That's steady, but over the past year, that number is 2.9%. Recent polling shows that Americans are worried about the cost of food. In fact, 53% say grocery prices are a major stress. Joining us now is Stu Leonard Jr. from Stu Leonard's Grocery Stores. Hi, Stu. Quite the backdrop you have for us. All right, I know you have some props as well. What items at your stores are going up the most with prices?
Well, here's a good one. You guys could put this on the grill right here, but here's probably one of our ranchers' favorite when they come, sort of like a Fred Flintstone steak. But, ribeye steaks are huge, and meat prices have gone up. We're at a historic low herd size in America, so the supply is very low.
People aren't talking about low prices. They're talking about groceries, gas, eggs, electricity, everything in between. By the way, have you been to a grocery store lately? 4 eggs for $8.99 isn't fine. It's outrageous. And the polls back it up. About 70% of Americans say groceries cost more than last year, and 60% blame Trump. Even Fox News, usually pro-Trump, agrees. People are feeling the pinch.
Have these tariffs been so good for your business?
Oh, definitely not. Our expense on IEEPA tariffs in 24 was 0, and our expected cash expense this year will be $14 million, and I expect next year $14 million, and I expect that the cost next year will double or more, but of course, who knows what the rates will settle down at. We're behaving the way someone would behave if they had a sudden and irreversible expense of $14 million. We're hiring fewer people, we're spending less money on CapEx, we're developing fewer products, we're reducing our marketing spend. It's bad for business because it's diverting us from exercising our business judgment, which is how we got this far and what we want to do going forward.
And it's not just households suffering. Businesses are hit hard too. One CEO went from 0 tariff expenses to $14 million this year and expects it to double next year. They're hiring fewer people, cutting back on products and marketing, just trying to survive.
Part of what we also saw was that, particularly with middle and lower income consumers, they're feeling under a lot of pressure right now. I think there's a lot of commentary about what's the state of the economy, how's it doing, and what we see is it's really kind of a two-tier economy. If you're upper income, earning over $100,000, things are good. The stock markets are near all-time highs. You're feeling, quite confident about things. You're seeing international travel. All those barometers of upper income consumers are doing quite well. What we see with middle and lower income consumers is actually a different story. It's that consumers under a lot of pressure. In our industry, traffic for lower income consumers is down double digits. And it's because people are either choosing to skip a meal, so we're seeing breakfast. People are actually skipping breakfast, or they're choosing to just eat at home. And so for our business, which has a significant group of consumers which are in that middle and lower income, we needed to step in with something like what we're doing here.
Fast food chains like McDonald's and Cava are warning about pullbacks too, because these younger diners and low-income customers, they can't afford higher prices. Everyone is feeling the effect, and it's only going to get worse if policies don't change. Even medium-sized companies are struggling to plan for the next quarter because tariffs and uncertainty make it impossible to know what the costs will be.
So then do you agree then that Americans are paying those tariffs?
I think, no, I don't agree. I think that they might be paying something, but when you take the overall impact, the Americans are gaining tremendously. They're gaining through national security. Look, I'm ending war because of these tariffs. Americans would have to fight in some of these wars. They're gaining in national security. They're gaining in economics. They're gaining in so many different ways. And they're gaining in self-respect for our own country.
Why did this happen? Funny you should ask. Trump said tariffs would make other countries pay, but in reality, we all pay. Prices are going up, uncertainty spikes, and the economy suffers. Stocks? Sure. Some billionaires like Elon Musk and Trump himself make money from market swings, but the regular everyday Americans are left footing the bill. It's a show for the rich while everyone else struggles. And it's not just tariffs. Mismanagement and chaos in the administration have made it even harder for businesses and families to plan ahead. Meanwhile, Trump has been chaotic, firing officials, mismanaging job numbers, ignoring warnings, all while having fancy parties at Mar-a-Lago. His family is cashing in too. From dinners to Melania's documentary deals, while the middle class bears the cost. This isn't just bad policy, it's a scam where the wealthy profit and the rest of us pay more for everything.
We're going to start in the United States, where we've had more detail about the world's largest economy, because the rate of inflation accelerated last month, according to official data that was out a little earlier. Now, it adds to concerns that President Trump's tariff policies will push up prices. Consumer prices rose at an annual rate of 2.7% in June. That's actually up from 2.4% in May. Now, if you look at core inflation that strips out anything that's pretty volatile, things like food or energy prices, that was also higher. So what does it all mean? Let's head to our North America business correspondent, Michelle Fleury, who's standing by. Michelle, that's the point here, isn't it? It gives us an indication that everything that we expected is coming true, that those policies of the president are pushing up prices.
So next time Scott Jennings, my old bud, claims prices aren't up, just remember, groceries, gas, meat, electricity, all higher. Businesses aren't hiring, people are struggling, and the rich are getting richer. Meanwhile, U.S. inflation is still above pre-pandemic levels, and tariffs on imports have added billions in extra costs to American families. The numbers don't lie. These policies are making everyday life more expensive for everyone except the wealthiest few. Once again, I'm Adam Carr. If you like this video, go ahead and smash that like button. And what the heck, go ahead and subscribe. We'll see you next time.